From the lively world of radio to the front lines of community service, Mandy Nokom-Villanueva has transformed her voice from one that entertains to one that empowers. A former DJ of 875 Republica, she now leads Through Action as part of JCI Macajalar 24K, a group of young leaders in Cagayan de Oro City dedicated to making real impact. From building schools and supporting children with leukemia, to protecting our oceans and providing clean water, their projects prove that purpose and passion can change lives. I'm Rochelle Rubio, and this is The Advocates, Empowering Voices. Imagine once being the voice that kept people company on air and now becoming the voice that uplifts an entire community.
I'm your host today. My name is Mandy Nokom. And
from spinning tracks to sparking change, Mandy Nokom-Villanueva, a former DJ of 875 Republica, now channels her energy into empowering lives through JCI Macajalar 24K, a chapter of JCI Philippines based in Cagayan de Oro City. But what exactly is JCI, and what advocacies drive its members to create impact across communities?
JCI Philippines is part of a global network of young active citizens called JCI, or Junior Chamber International, and it's committed to creating positive change. It's a global organization. You can find it probably in the next country that you're going to be visiting. And JCI Macajalar 24K is one of its local organizations here in the Philippines, based in Cagayan de Oro. It stands for service with purpose. So basically, the chapter is all about that. It's a blend of compassion and action. And then our advocacies revolve around sustainability, women and youth empowerment, and community healing. So all under the spirit of hustling with a heart for 2025. But for 2026, we're going to go by a different battle cry or a different slogan or call to action for everyone. And it's HEAL or HEAL. So heartfelt engagement and authentic leadership. Actually, it has a lot of meanings for me right now. It's all about, siguro, when I put it, when I wanna condense it into, siguro, three things. It's about impact, empathy, and empowering others to rise with you.
Does Mandy ever miss the mic and the thrill of broadcasting?
Yes, it's been so long since I was on air, and well, there's still a part of me that craves it, but this is the calling now. This is what I'm going to do now. So unfortunately, I cannot go back on air yet.
Among their most impactful outreach initiatives are Clean Water and Sanitation 2025, a project bringing safe drinking water to communities in need. Bags to School, which equips children with school supplies to fuel their dreams. Uplifting children with leukemia, offering hope and assistance to young warriors battling illness. And Ocean Tales, an advocacy for marine conservation and environmental awareness. All testaments to JCI Macajalar 24K's heart for service and transformative leadership. They have done approximately 140 community projects this year. Mandy talks about the 4 pillars of the JCI framework.
Macajalar actually runs so many projects all throughout the year. I think this year we were able to do 140 community projects. It's a lot. So first, let me tell you about the JCI frameworks. There's 4 pillars to it. Individual development. Under this, we, of course, have to undergo trainings on how to do the projects, whatsoever, systematic things, and even like individual growth ng mga programs, such as this training that I personally homebrewed, which is Voices with Dignity. It's about empowering storytelling, especially if you're dealing with marginalized communities. And that's birthed through my experience also in radio, in PBS when I was still there. So that's part of that. And then the second framework is internationalism, wherein, because JCI is a very, very global network of young active citizens, we are encouraged to make friends with everyone and network with everyone in the entire organization, which gives us access to not the one very limited, but very, very vast resources of knowledge and information and best practices. Next is, of course, community. That is where we channel all our energies into the Philippines being in need of so many community projects. Doon namin nilalagay lahat ng efforts that we did for ourselves. Also, there's business. There's the business aspect of it. We're not just helping each other's economies through business and the business acumen of its members and the whole network of JCI. We get to raise funds for our projects, for our other projects. So these four go hand in hand together. So each of the projects that we do is actually rooted in a belief that small, consistent acts of kindness can create lasting change.
And how does a small group of only 21 to 40 members, all young leaders under 40, manage to pull off big-ticket, high-impact projects year after year?
Macajalar 24K, it being 40 years, we're still a small chapter. We belong to a category 3, which means 21 to 40 lang ang ano namin, ang membership namin. JCI is something that you can say na parang a younger organization because we consist of 18 to 40-year-olds na individuals. So beyond 40, I'm not sure if you could come in. I think there are programs pa that JCI is trying to come up with so that people beyond 40 who want to join in JCI during that time can still join in JCI. But for most of the members who did so much impact or like bigger impact, after 40, there's JCI Senate waiting for them. And then, so for those projects, clean water and sanitation, bags to school, those are just two of the national programs that JCI does every year.
Mandy first joined JCI 14 years ago and witnessed firsthand how the organization made a lasting impact when they helped build a school for children in need. But they didn't stop there. They went on to create programs that continue to support students in their education to this day. These and many other initiatives remain close to their hearts for the profound difference they make in the lives of their beneficiaries.
Those two are very, very close to our hearts because clean water and sanitation, number one, ensures access, of course, to safety or safe water for families in underserved areas. And also, and sanitation, it comes with it na parang because we have to keep the waters clean, we have to keep ourselves clean also. Parang ganun siya. The project that we did for this one was we tapped into this school that we built 14 years ago. Actually, I was with JCI 14 years ago, so I saw when this school was built. That's where we taught the children in the learning center na we built how to properly wash their hands. So that's just a little part of it. And then bags to school also. So we did it we made a back-to-back project for that one. So while we were in the school na, we also wanted to give the children new bags. So bags to school helps children begin their academic year with dignity and hope, of course.
Mandy also shares about their program Uplifting Children with Leukemia, through which the organization provides board and lodging assistance to marginalized patients undergoing treatment in Cagayan de Oro City.
One of the biggest projects that we did this year also was, of course, Uplifting Children with Leukemia. Uplifting is actually, if I'm not mistaken, a JCI Rise project that our sisters, the sisterhood, did, I think, 4 years ago, when the call to action for JCI World was Rise. So, kaya, uplifting. The reason why it's Uplifting Children with Leukemia is because we did a project in this place called Lupapo. It stands for Leukemia Patients and Parents Organization, Inc. This place doesn't get a lot of support from public sectors. It only depends mostly on the help of the private sector, such as JCI, Eagles. What they have or what they do is they house families of children who are undergoing chemotherapy in Cagayan de Oro City. So, syempre, Cagayan de Oro City being the gateway to Northern Mindanao, and us having one of the biggest hospitals, NMMC here. So, maraming mga leukemia patients who come to Cagayan de Oro to have their chemo done here. And sometimes those very, let's say, underprivileged families who have to do that here, ibig sabihin they still need to pay for board and lodging and stuff. So Lupapo takes care of that. They house these families for free.
Mandy shares that JCI has been instrumental in shaping who she is today, both as a person and in her career, a journey that began back in her college years and continues to inspire her to serve and lead with purpose.
They're not just my initiatives. They're actually the chapter's initiatives, and that's one of the reasons why I've lasted here. I've actually started being in JCI for since I was in college. So bit ko na siya when I was doing work for PBS, when I was doing work for private radio entities. So I've been carrying JCI with me. It also is one of the things that shaped me career-wise.
JCI Macajalar 24K also champions environmental awareness through their project Ocean Tales, which advocates for the protection and preservation of the ocean and marine life.
It's a collaborative project that we did with Coach Miling. She is a diving instructor here in Cagayan de Oro City. She's based in Hasaan. It actually combines education and storytelling to spark environmental awareness among people. All of these projects together, how M24K or Macajalar 24K serves with heart, grounded, it's purposeful and community driven.
Mandy shares that every year, JCI celebrates a special JCI Week, 7 days dedicated to action, where chapters across the globe simultaneously roll out community projects, outreach programs, and initiatives that create real impact in the lives of others.
There's also so many projects pa that we did this year, as I mentioned, 100 plus. I would just like to highlight that every summer, siguro mga April, ganon, there's this thing that we call JCI Week. We're in for the entire week, we just do projects. Every day of the week, there's a project that's related to either business, individual, community, and then internationalism.
Their projects often carry catchy and meaningful titles, a reflection of the creativity and innovative spirit of their young members.
Kahit ako, I wouldn't say na but like, I wouldn't say na parang I'm still witty ganon when it comes to titles. It still pays to have Gen Z in your pool. Ang dami nilang nako-contribute when it comes to that, di ba? It's part of the trainings also that we get to share with one another kasi syempre iba-iba kami ng age group. 18 to 40 is a huge gap, di ba? So we learn from each other talaga as we go along.
Another national project of JCI Philippines is Upland Kaagapay 2025. What is it and what are its goals?
It's basically Upland Kaagapay is also one of the national projects of JCI Philippines. By national project, meaning everyone has access to it. Everyone parang hindi naman siya. I wouldn't say that it's required out of everyone, but this is one of the most established ones because us being in the Pacific Ring of Fire and how many storms do we get in a year? Kailangan talaga ng DRRM or Disaster Risk Reduction Management Project. So, Upland Kaagapay, dati pa yan, matagal na to. When I started, na-feel ko talaga to and nakapag-participate talaga ako ng bongga dito because when I started, that was during Sendong. Basically, Upland Kaagapay is born from a desire to bring comfort and care to those who get hit hardest by crises. So, be it fire, lindol, bagyo, ganon. So, in Filipino naman means kaagapay, di ba? Being someone's steady support, and that's what we aim to be. It's not just a fundraiser, it's fundraising is part of it, of course, because how can you bring relief to communities without funds, di ba? So, basically, it's a disaster relief or post-calamity rehab. So this project ensures that JCI Macajalar stands hand in hand with the community. So it's not just about giving aid, it's about restoring hope and dignity as well.
How do they sustain or fund their community projects and programs?
Creativity, partnership, and trust. So we collaborate with generous individuals, local businesses, and partner orgs who share our heart for service. So many of our members also contribute from their own pockets. That's part of the fundraising, I guess. And sometimes through fundraising events, events kami, nagpapa-block screening. Because when people believe in your cause, syempre, they give not just their money, but they're also parang their time, talent, and trust. So, as young people, not a lot of us have money, but we have time, we have talent, we have trust. That's what we can give most of the time.
Careful planning plays a crucial role in ensuring that the costs of each project are not born by a single member. Sound financial management, she emphasizes, is key to sustaining their initiatives.
That's why we really have to plan it out, always have our meetings about it. Parang i-agree namin, kumbaga in Bisaya, hanayon ang everything para hindi not one member lang ang ma-poor, tayong lahat ng ma-poor, just kidding. Para hindi lang isang member ang mahihirapan. Kumbaga, tabang-tabang ta dire, like let's all help each other.
Mandy looks back on her many years with JCI, how she first joined the organization, and what continues to inspire her to stay and serve.
I've been in JCI for about 13 to 14 years, so over a decade na, di ba? Well, basically, I joined out of curiosity. I wanted to use my voice for something meaningful beyond my work as a DJ. And then what happened kasi was one of the wives of the DJs of the first station that I worked with, Killer B 89.3, she's part of Macajalar. And she's actually the Senate President of JCI Cagayan de Oro right now. Her name is RVP Apple Sarah Kiblat, and ayun, parang kinuha niya lang ako, tapos na-addict na, ayun. So, of course, what I found was a family of change makers who made me believe that leadership can be both compassionate and courageous. And, over the years, I realized that JCI helped me find myself. And it means that I'm not above the community, but actually I'm among it. And that's why I continue to lead. So, because JCI services where I feel most at home.
Mandy eventually rose through the ranks of JCI Macajalar 24K, serving as president-elect and preparing to take the helm next year as Press Mandy.
I'm press-elect, but come January and come after my induction, I'll be Press Mandy. Until now, parang ang ngilo, parang ang sakit sa ngipin pag naririnig ko kasi never did I realize na, kasi I think I was, if I'm not, well, not being very, but feeling ko kasi parang when I started, I was just really a fellowship member na pag project makikita mo, pero pero pag fellowship mas makikita mo pa. So, ayun, I just didn't realize how I evolved and how I grew with the chapter din pala. I tried to be ready actually for the entire year. I did all of the trainings that I could get, and even shared it with my sisters in Macajalar 24K. I brought them to the trainings with me, ganon. So parang I don't think exactly that you're gonna be like 100% ready, but you can be ready to be ready.
Mandy has also received several awards and recognitions throughout her JCI journey, honors that hold deep meaning for her as symbols of hard work, dedication, and the impact she strives to make through service.
For the awards, local chapter awards pa lang yata yung na-upload ko. Na-upload! Local chapter awards. So basically for 2024, I was most outstanding member, most outstanding chairperson for chairing. I don't know the metrics for that. Actually, I never bothered to ask my president. I was just so happy to receive it. So, most outstanding chairperson, and of course the receiver of the Donnie Roa Excellence Awardee. Donnie Roa is the charter president of JCI Macajalar 24K, going strong at such age after 40 presidents and me being 41st. Well, basically, these awards, they don't just remind me of what I've achieved, but it actually reminds me more of the people that I've served alongside, and they represent every member who showed up, even when siguro it's the hardest for them also. Of course, every community that welcomed us with open arms, and every moment wherein I doubted myself, which is very, very often, but I pushed through anyway. So these milestones for me, they remind me, of course, that recognition is sweeter when it's shared with people.
When asked about the personal challenges she has encountered in pursuing her advocacies through JCI Macajalar 24K, Mandy shares this.
Yes, of course. Because JCI Macajalar 24K is based here in Cagayan de Oro, di ba? And I never Parang I didn't ano na, I almost transferred to a chapter that's near to me in Manila, but I did not, kumbaga. One of the struggles is actually the going back and forth sa Cagayan de Oro, managing our time, of course the resources also, kasi hindi mo talaga mara-run yung chapter without money. But I think you can run it with so much creativity in your mind. Not just the partnerships, actually, it's just really working with what you have and harnessing that to its full potential. I know it's very cliche, but it's really not. Like I cannot count how many projects are born out of hindi lang naman siya necessity but out of creativity talaga, out of everyone's minds in the chapter na parang, oh, let's do this because we have this and capitalize natin to. Alam niyo yun, parang like for example sa JCI kasi in the Philippines has a performance and efficiency system. That's I think one of the things that sets us apart also from so many other organizations. And kinakapitalize talaga yung trainings. Because we're all a lot of us are professionals in very different varying fields, right? So we capitalize on that and use it to our advantage, not just to develop communities, but also ourselves in the process.
Under her leadership, what more can people expect from JCI Macajalar 24K?
One of the things that you can expect from JCI Macajalar 24K for the year is to expect healing through service. So under our HEAL framework, which is hope, empowerment, action, and leadership, or heartfelt engagement and authentic leadership, we'll focus on food sustainability, women's safety, youth empowerment, international collaborations, and of course, media literacy. We're not just building projects, of course, we're nurturing the people who benefits from it, who are doing it. And I want our chapter to be known as a place where leaders grow, hearts heal, and communities thrive. That's basically the bigger vision. And in between those came with a lot of, pagmuni-muni, ano ba talaga? Paano ba talaga? And syempre, JCI is for the youth and by the youth, kumbaga. We really tried to find a way to invite more youth on our side because um I'm taking my case for example. I was recruited very young, so I had a longer time kumbaga to serve the chapter, serve JCI and serve my communities, serve our communities.
What's in it for someone who joins JCI Philippines?
Well, I don't want to be cheesy about it, but JCI really changes you from inside out. Yes, you could gain skills, you could learn how to do public speaking, you could learn how to be a leader, you could learn how to manage projects. But more importantly, you gain so much perspective because of the people around you, the people you work with, and the people you serve. And you get to learn, I guess, that true fulfillment comes not from success alone, but from significance. And it's the kind of growth that can't be taught. You could only live it. Ganun siya.
Mandy leaves an inspiring message to those who wish to make a difference. A reminder that real change begins with the courage to step forward, to serve with heart, and give back without expecting anything in return.
Stemming from where I came from and how I started, I guess just start where you are. You don't need a title or a position to make an impact. You don't need to be this and that. You don't need to be a Nepo baby, but that would be nice. If all that Nepo baby money would go to the community back. So basically, all you need is heart and willingness. Because, once you get in it, service is actually very contagious. Just one act of kindness, one project can ripple into a movement and something so much bigger. So, the world doesn't need perfect heroes. It just needs people who care enough to show up.
Through her years with JCI, Mandy has learned that true leadership isn't about position, it's about compassion in action. Her journey reminds us that anyone can make a difference when they choose to serve. Because when individuals come together with a shared heart for a community, Small acts of kindness ripple into lasting change. This has been Rochelle Rubio. Till the next episode of The Advocates next Friday, here on 104.3 The Capital.
This is where the voices of the voiceless are heard. The Advocates, Empowering Voices, hosted by Rochelle Rubio on 104.3 The Capital.